Finally, I get to see what all this huff and puff is about, the devil's cabbage. Thank you, government, for making it legal. 2,000 bucks? But it's legal! With the legalization of recreational marijuana quickly approaching, a lot of government bodies are, well, totally tripping, man. In the HRM, city councilors just passed an amendment of the municipality's nuisance bylaw, with the new and improved Respecting Nuisance By-law. Seriously, man? That's the best name they could come up with? Maybe they could have used a little bit of, come up with a better name. The bylaw bans smoking of any substance outside of a designated area on municipal lands. It's seen as a big step forward in decreasing the risk of secondhand smoke from both pot and tobacco. Secondhand smoke is as much of a health issue as it is a nuisance. Even if you don't mind the smell, people who inhale secondhand smoke are exposed to more than 7,000 chemicals. At least 70 have been linked to cancer and caused dozens of serious health issues. Now, I'm not saying that everyone is huffing in secondhand smoke all the time, but over a lifetime, it can add up. In Canada alone, 800 people die each year from secondhand smoke-related illnesses. We get enough unnecessary chemicals from car, bus, and truck exhaust, and banning smoking of any substance on the street can reduce the amount of fumes we inhale. There's also the big problem of litter. Cigarette litter is such a big deal that the Oceans Conservancy's International Coastal Cleanup reports cigarettes butts as the single most recovered item. All of those chemicals and particles that the filter stops you from inhaling gets ground into our soil or washed into our water systems. And let's not forget that it just looks gross. Decreasing litter and stopping people from breathing in secondhand smoke, these are all great things. So why are so many people against this new bylaw?
Well, the problem is that while the ideas behind the law are great, the law itself, not so much.
Under the new bylaw, smoking is still legal. What's changed is where you can legally smoke, and basically, that's only on your own property. Renters in apartments or houses will not be allowed to smoke in their units unless the landlord explicitly permits it. And for the homeless who aren't permitted to smoke in shelters, this also eliminates their option to smoke when they go outside.
But that doesn't mean people can't smoke. What about the smoking areas the municipality will be implementing?
Sure, that helps, but right now we don't know where any of these designated smoking areas are going to be. And if you smoke outside of a designated smoking area, you can face fines of $100 to $2,000. If you already can't afford to purchase property, can you really afford an expensive fine for smoking on your stoop? Right now with the ban, it kind of seems as though they're making smoking privately a privilege for a select few.
This could also seriously impact those with limited mobility from enjoying lighting up some of that Mary Jane.
In fact, you can't even smoke in your backyard or patio. Renters still need explicit permission from their landlord. And if you own a home, then you better hope that your smoke doesn't reach the street, as the bylaw prohibits smoking on or near a public place or place that is open to the public.
But just because you can smoke doesn't mean you have the right to smoke. According to Smoke-Free Housing Nova Scotia, there is no inherent right to smoke in law, and the people who do smoke are not a protected class under the Canadian Charters of Rights and Freedom.
You might not have a right to smoke, but for better or worse, people are legally allowed to smoke. Tobacco, e-cigarettes, and vapes are all still permitted to be sold in the HRM and are taxed by the government. Come October 17th, weed will also be legal for recreational use and sale in Canada.
But is this really any different than how we police alcohol? Even council stated that our current ban on smoking is similar to our current ban on drinking on the street. I can't go down Quinpool drinking out of an open bottle of wine, so why should I be allowed to smoke a joint? This is gonna become an expensive video.
Okay, that makes sense. Treat smoking like alcohol then. But wait, if I'm walking down Quinpool Road and want a beer, I can just stop into a restaurant and sit outside on the patio to enjoy the drink. Thank you.
And under the new Respecting Nuisance By-law, you can't do that with smoking of any kind. In fact, the current HRM bylaws prevent any kind of private smoking establishments, so no hookah bars or wacky tobacco clubs, but almost any business can apply for a liquor license. So is it going to be treated like alcohol, or isn't it?
I'll admit, there seems to be some picking and choosing of when it will be treated like a controlled substance, and when they're going to make it seem like something totally different.
Now, we aren't encouraging smoking of any kind, and especially not encouraging anyone to break any future or existing laws. Smoking is a difficult topic to talk about.
But in its current state, the bylaw is more of a reactionary law, based off of something that's still coming that a lot of people are scared about. And laws shouldn't be based off of fear or future emotion, they should be guided by logic.
The bylaw still isn't fully finished, and the designated smoking areas haven't yet been decided, but we do hope that the HRM thinks long and hard about who the bylaw will affect and how. Let's not encourage someone to use a legal substance illegally, because that's going to be a bad trip for everyone.